What's up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Crush City Territory. I'm Chandler Rome, joined as always by Tyler Stafford and a very special guest today, the minor league home run king and your newest member of the Double-A Corpus Christi Hooks, Jason Schiavone. Jason, um, what a week this has been for you. What a season this has been for you, first of all. I think a lot of people, a lot of real hardcore, in-depth Astros fans pour over all the box scores every night in AAA, AA, high A, low A, and they always kind of look at names but can never put faces to names. But your name just in these box scores just kept popping up every week. You have 18 home runs between high A Asheville and Double-A Corpus Christi, where you were just promoted this past week. If you could, take us through what the first month and a half of this season has been like for you. Is this the most locked in you've ever been as a baseball player?
Yeah, this the first month of this season has been it's been unreal for me. It really has been, but it's kind of what I want to set my standard to. I want to be able to compete in every at bat, compete in every game, and I want to give my team the best chance to win. And if that happens to lead to home runs, then I'm all for it. But whatever way I can help my team win, I want that to be the main focus of my success.
You hit 18 home runs in your last season at James Madison. That was in 61 games. You played 38 this season. Why are you hitting so many dingers? What's going on?
I don't know. I think the main thing for me is just being aggressive. And when I'm getting good pitches early in the counts, that works out best for me. I like to swing early. I like to swing hard. So it's just been working out.
As so for those that don't know, you were drafted in 2024 from James Madison, 11th round pick. Now, James Madison has you may not know it by just hearing the name, but a pretty storied baseball program, a program that has produced a lot of good players, a lot of professional players. But maybe take us through kind of coming from what outsiders would view as a small school, a mid-major school, coming from there and getting into pro ball. What was the adjustment like, and how do you think you have assimilated to pro ball since you got drafted?
Yeah, absolutely. So coming from a mid-major school, I'd say first off, like you said, I think JMU's been producing a lot of great talent coming out of JMU too, which is awesome to see. It's just such a great school and a great baseball program that I love so much. But the one thing that I think that I noticed that took me a little bit of last year to kind of get used to was we're not facing like SEC arms in at mid majors. So
Right.
when we would face them, that was always the bigger challenge of the weekend. And the one thing I noticed was when you get to pro ball, almost every single arm is like an SEC arm or better. So like that's the one thing when you were in the Sun Belt, we definitely had very good pitching. Like there was no doubt in my mind that the Sun Belt had great pitching teams and the pitching staffs were really good. But the consistency of an entire organization having that talent was the one thing I think I had to get used to a lot of.
Yeah,
So
but now you're hitting more homers. So again, what's changed? Like what has your approach changed? Have you figured something out with these, or did you just need someone throwing 97 to you all the time so you could just take that and turn it around?
I honestly the I changed a little bit of mechanical stuff, like very minor stuff, in spring training, and towards the end, it started really clicking for me. Like it took probably like a week or two to finally get used to it and comfortable with it, and then the end of spring training started clicking, and my approach is the main thing that's been changing for me. It's the being aggressive early, not taking pitches in the heart of the zone. Like I think if you looked back at my last year's stats, like that was the main problem for me. It was I was taking a lot of pitches, especially in the heart of the zone, early in the count. So just being aggressive this year was my main goal.
you said you changed some things, obviously approach swinging earlier in counts, but you said you changed some things mechanically in spring training. Was that more load? Was that more hands? Was that more lower half? Kind of what did you do? What did you do with your swing? And you said it took a while for it to click, but when did you kind of feel it click?
So I changed. It was my hand mainly. I just wanted to relax him more, keep him relaxed, keep my body relaxed in the box. I used to be a little bit more stiff and tight in the box. So keeping my hands relaxed was the most important thing for me. And um, it was just getting comfortable with it at that point. And during at bats and live pitching, finding my timing with it, that was what took, a week or two to get used to. But once it clicked and once I finally found my rhythm and my timing, the upper half and the lower half working together, that's when I really started noticing like this is for real.
The obviously the bat is going to, and when you hit 18 home runs, when you lead minor league baseball in home runs, that's going to get all the attention. But your primary position, you are a catcher. And I
Yep.
think, when you talk about catching, defense, and game calling and kind of managing a pitching staff, a lot of times will supersede the offensive output. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the Astros would love it if you keep leading every league you're in home runs. They will not ask you to stop doing that. But looking at just talking to some scouts about you, looking at kind of some film of what you've done, the arm behind the plate is pretty special in terms of, I think you've thrown out almost 30% of the would-be base stealers this season. And if you watch minor league baseball, guys, people are constantly running. And Jason, I think you can attest to this, that the running game is wild in minor league baseball. So you have a lot of
Yeah.
chances. You have a lot of chances to throw people out. Just
Yeah.
how do you think you have matured defensively? And how do you think you've matured in terms of calling games? Because a lot of times that is the biggest adjustment. I'm gonna assume you didn't call games at JMU. So
No, did not.
no. So what has that adjustment been like coming here, knowing that it's in your hands what pitch is about to be thrown, how you're sequencing a hitter, things like that?
Yeah, so like you said in college, never called anything. But the one thing in college I did do a lot of was I really did talk with our pitching coaches throughout the 3 years that I was there. I talked with them a lot about, what their game plan was for each of the teams we did face. So I could start learning it. And that was not because I thought I was going to go pro or anything like that. I just wanted to learn and actually be like, okay, why is he calling this? Why is he calling that? And what situations? And that honestly, that really helped me out a lot, just understanding more of like what we're trying to do. And then when I got to pro ball, obviously calling my own game now, the biggest thing for me was like doing my own homework. Like that's what it came down. Like I needed to do my own homework on other teams and my pitchers as well. I needed to find out what their best pitches were, what they threw like what was the best in zone percentage, or like how can we attack this certain guy versus this certain guy, and what strengths does my pitcher have versus what weaknesses does my pitcher have. Just starting to learn them more and more in depth and more than just okay, they've got a fastball, they got a slider, they got a cutter, a curveball, and a changeup. So going way more in depth, which I actually love. It's like I get to do more baseball outside of baseball. It can definitely be a little bit sometimes, but getting to learn each one of my pitchers now, and especially on a whole new staff. I've known most of these guys from spring training, but getting to know in detail more of all these guys has been an awesome experience so far. And yeah, I'd say the biggest adjustment though was definitely like the calling my own game. Like realistically, like that's the hardest thing I feel like for catchers is the mental side of it. Is it's exhausting sometimes, but it's so much fun just being able to say like, yeah, I'm in control of this game. And the good thing about it is, yeah, there can be good days and there can be bad days. You give up whatever 20 runs or you give up zero. So like there's ups and downs to it, but that's the hardest part, but also the most fun part.
What so you're mashing in high A, you're mashing in Asheville, which is a good place to hit. Asheville's an
Yeah.
offensive friendly environment. I don't think that at all demeans what you did, but it's a very offensive friendly environment. As you're mashing, the home runs are going up, you're going 5 for 5 in games. Is a promotion in the back of your mind? Are you kind of like, man, like they got to get me to Double-A at some point? And when you finally did get promoted, how did they tell you? And we were talking about it a little bit before we hit record. You did not fly from Asheville to Corpus. You drove from Asheville to Corpus. So give us some highlights of that 19-hour journey from Asheville, North Carolina to Corpus Christi, Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely like when I was in Asheville, I wouldn't say it was like on the forefront of my mind, nor I would say it covered the slimmest part of my mind, just because I know that like, this is just baseball. I want to keep playing. So if they think the best situation for me is in Asheville to keep playing 6 games, 5 games a week, like I'm all for that. Especially after coming off last year's offensive stunt. Like I wanted to get my bats, and I wanted to prove that I'm absolutely capable of being a big league hitter. And just the more experience for me was better, and I was extremely happy and honestly very like so happy to get the promotion. But so we actually so we lost on Sunday in Asheville, sadly. But after the game, I was in our clubhouse, uh, about to get undressed, but our coach, one of our assistant coaches, comes in. He's like, "Hey, manager wants to see you in his office." I'm like, okay, like it's kind of weird. So I went in there, and our three coaches were sitting in there, and he kind of just he was messing with me at first, like talking about the game, and I'm like, okay, like definitely just a meeting about the game and what we can do for Tuesday's game now. And then he ended it all with, "No, you're not going to be here though. You're going to be in Corpus," and I loved it. I mean, it was really good. I think he did a great job of messing with me at first, but then coming back after with the promotion, and I really truly am blessed that he did that with me. So yeah, and then the drive, something. It's definitely something.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it was around 19 hours. The Sunday part was easy, 3 hours to Atlanta from Asheville. That was beautiful. And then the rest of the way on Monday, which I do love. I
Mm-hmm.
love driving. I think it's super peaceful for me. Like that's something that not a lot of people like, but for some reason, me and my dad, we love doing that stuff. Like we drive everywhere basically. And the highlights, I'd probably say, we're stopping at Bucky's. All the Bucky's
Hell
on the
yeah.
way down here. I love it.
Absolutely.
What'd
Come
you
Love
get?
it.
on. What'd
It's
you
just a
get? Yeah,
mega.
that's important.
Well, I'm going in there for the mac and cheese and brisket. I love that for a
Mm-hmm.
good lunch. I got some cookie dough bites. Probably not the best
Yes.
idea for
Those
a
Nah,
things
you
19-hour
got
trip, but
to.
very, very good.
those things rule.
And then got a couple bottles of water. And I actually did also get a Bucky's blanket because I was told we need like something to keep you warm on the bus for the longer road trips in Double-A. So yeah, added
Yeah,
some Bucky's to my life.
here's my pro tip for next time. So I make my own custom peanut M&Ms. They have honey roasted peanuts there, and I buy a bag
Yeah.
of those, and then I buy like the sharing size bag of plain M&Ms. Pour those
Okay.
in there, and then you just make your own peanut M&Ms, and it's like
Okay.
gourmet. So there you go.
Oh,
Use
okay.
that for next
Manage your
time.
own. You made it yourself.
Um, Jason, you mentioned your dad. You mentioned, you guys like to drive. Like, just what is that relationship like with your parents, and kind of how have they embraced this start to your pro career? Have they been able to were they able to get out to Asheville? Have they been able to get out to Corpus? Kind of what's it been like?
Yeah, they
What's it been like with them?
yeah, I mean, I think my parents, I'm blessed with my parents. I truly am. I have such great relationships with them, and they've come to a majority of my games in pro baseball so far. Like they came when we were in Fayetteville, they were there almost every weekend. Even if we were on the road, it's close enough for home in North Carolina for them to make a drive out to the weekend.
Hmm.
Even when we were on the road, it was like some places we went to, like we went to Delmarva, which is actually super close to my house. Um, and then in Asheville, same thing. Like they came up for the weekends, and they even came on the road series too. If work allowed for them to do that, they were there. And they did the same thing when I was in college too. I think they legitimately made it to every single one of my games, um, even some midweeks in college, which it's just like not every parent can do. So I really am blessed with my parents being able to come out and visit me. I mean, like it truly am. I never felt like I was away from home, even when I'm away from home. And then now that I'm here, obviously a little bit farther from Maryland. Instead of a drive, it's a flight now. But they haven't been here yet. But I think they are planning on coming. I think they're coming this weekend. I think they said something
Nice.
about coming this weekend. So I need to actually call them after this because I have not called them yet this morning. But
Ooh.
Pro
either this
tip.
weekend or in San Antonio.
There you go. Pro tip: parents love that battleship down there. That's an easy win. You take the parents
Oh
out
yeah.
to the battleship. You pay your respects at the Selena statue down by the beach. You get all the Corpus Christi in there, and that's an easy day for the parents.
Oh, absolutely. I know they're gonna love it here too. Like that's the cool thing about it. Like, I mean, every level I've been to so far, like they embrace the town, and I love it. Like I just they want to be a part of the town, a part of the team, and that's what I love so much about them. I truly, like, I would not be here without them, and I can't thank them enough for all the money and time they put into me being able to play this sport.
Well, we're going to let you go call them because you said you haven't called them yet this morning. But before we let you go, you're now, I think, 4 games into your Double-A career. In a outcome that surprises no one, you homered in your first Double-A game. So, what are your goals as you settle into Double-A? Obviously, the competition is going to ratchet up a little bit. If you believe a lot of people in the industry, Double-A is now getting harder than Triple-A. Double-A is kind of the prove it level now in pro ball. What are your expectations and what are your goals as you settle into being a Double-A Corpus Christi Hook?
Yeah. So for me, my goals is to continue to just be aggressive and then put bat to ball, and put barrel to ball, especially. I'm not really chasing average. I'm not really chasing home runs. I'm not chasing all that stuff. I want my walks when I can get my walks, and I want to limit my Ks when I can limit my Ks. And then just being aggressive, I think that'll be the key for me, and that'll lead to me having success with those numbers. But I don't want to chase the numbers. I just want to chase the barrels. And if I hit it right at people, I hit it right at people. But I know those balls will eventually drop, and I'll find my way. I'll find my way into some success.
I'm going to put that on a shirt.
Well,
I'm going to put it
my
on.
suggestion would be to continue having a 450 on base percentage. I think that will play pretty much wherever you go. Just do that, and
Yeah.
I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's the goal right there.
I'm going to put Chase Barrels on a shirt.
That is
That's a good shirt idea.
You're not chasing
That's a
average.
good-
You're chasing barrels.
That's a good name for like your
Absolutely.
MLB The Show character, Chase Barrels.
Chase barrels.
Chase Barrels.
I love that. That's actually so smart.
All right. Jason, we're going to let you go chase some barrels tonight at Corpus Christi. This was great. We really appreciate you taking some. I know it has been peeling the curtain way back. I reached out to you about doing this, I think the day you got promoted to Double-A. And so we have been going back and forth between you making this long drive from Asheville to Corpus. I know it's been a long week, a busy week for you, a lot happening. We appreciate you taking some time to sit down with us. This was great. I think fans will really enjoy it.
Thank you so much for having me once again. And last and for all, I want to thank God for putting me here. I wouldn't be here without him, and just wanted to end with that. But thank you guys so much for having me. I really, truly am appreciative, and your flexible time too. Like you said, like me getting up here. I didn't want to tell you right away because I didn't know if it was public information yet or not at the time. But I was like, I can't do it anymore right now.
No,
You're already learning to hide things from Chandler. That's smart. You're on your way to being a big leaguer.
You'll be called up in a minute if you keep doing that. All right. Thanks, Jason. This was great.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right. Tyler and I will be back to talk about the upcoming series against the Cubs right after this message from our friends at Mint Mobile.
Some wireless plans can get a little bit crazy, a little bit off the charts expensive. Mint Mobile can get you started with 3 months of premium wireless for $15 a month. That's a pretty good
Who doesn't
number.
like that? The way gas prices are going up, Scott, we've got to keep our mobile plan down. And Mint Mobile is your location to keep your mobile plan down. You can add family members. You can do all that for just $15 a month.
That's less than a drink in many cities these days, if you like bougie drinks. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/territory. That's mintmobile.com/territory. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Do you like bougie drinks, Tyler?
Big fan. Love a bougie drink.
I'm a bougie drink fan too, I guess. Anything from Met Mobile. Jason was fun. That was fun to get to know Jason Schiavone, who I will be completely honest with you. My livelihood and my paycheck depends on knowing most things about the Astros. I did not know who he was until, I don't know, midway through April when he just kept hitting home runs. you obviously don't want to say this with the guy on camera, and he's going to watch this, I assume, after. So he'll hear me say it anyway. But talking to, I think when a guy has a month like that, you kind of ask around and you're like, all right, is this real, or is this, he's playing in an offensive friendly environment and he just got on an unreal heater and you have to kind of run with that. And pretty much everything I got from both people within the Astros system, and I surveyed a couple rival executives or scouts, people that work for other teams that don't have the allegiances to the Astros, that this is real, that Jason is a real prospect. Again, player development is not linear. That does not mean he's going to be, in the big leagues next year. I don't think he's going to keep up this insane home run pace, especially going to Whataburger Field, Tyler, a place that is not as offensive friendly as Asheville, but
at least he's not left-handed.
No, at least he's not that. That would not be fun. But talking to people, the one thing he is going, and Jason alluded to it a few times, and when he was talking to us, contact is going to be something that he is going to have to really prioritize. It was funny talking to one person, said kind of the hit was over the power coming in, like the bat was kind of ahead of the defense coming in, but the defense has been, one person told me, kind of above average. He's got a real nice arm behind the plate. You've seen it with the guys he's thrown out. I had one person tell me that Jason Schiavone is the best catching prospect in the Astros system, and that includes Walker Yannick, who was a first-round pick a couple of years ago. They're now teammates at Double-A Corpus Christi. So look, he is real. He's someone that I think you should monitor, keep an eye on, but also understand that just because he tore high A up doesn't mean he's going to go to Double-A and just automatically tear things up. But certainly someone that kind of follows this path of how the Astros have found success in player development recently. It's an 11th round pick from James Madison, kind of unheard of, unthought of for a while, and just made a couple of adjustments and now has really, really taken off once he's gotten into affiliated ball.
Look, as much as I would love to dog you for not knowing him coming into this season, respectfully, he hit 180 in A-ball last year in 78 games, but he's not doing that anymore. So good for him. That's awesome. I mean, yeah, the strikeouts were, he's going to need to figure that out, but he's got a 25% walk rate. Like this season, he has struck out a bunch. He struck out 54 times in 180 plate appearances, but he's also walked 42 times. I mean, he's been about as 3 true outcome as you can get. But listen, if you're going to be 3 true outcome with a 450 OBP, that'll play.
It will. It will play. And as we talked about with Jason, look, they're not going to begrudge him for being a good offensive player. That's never going to happen. But with catching and with catchers specifically, defense, especially in this organization, defense, game calling, presence behind the plate maybe matters a little bit more than what you do with the bat. And to hear other executives and scouts describe it, it is an above average defensive profile. It's an arm that one person told me was about a 60 on the 20 to 80 scouting scale. So that's good if you have a 60 arm. Obviously, I don't know what the framing looks like. I don't know what the receiving looks like. I've heard okay things about it, but like we said, with ABS right now, framing is important, but not near as important as, in the past. But, Jason did play first base last night for the Hooks. I would imagine they will DH him. They will play him at first, just anything to keep his bat in the lineup. And when catching is one of those difficult places to divvy out playing time because you can only have one of them.
Especially
I don't know
learning a new staff too. I mean, in the middle of the
right.
season.
Yeah, I don't know what the defense at first base looks like, but they are at least exposing him there. He's going to be an option. But again, a prospect to keep your eyes on because the way the major league team's playing right now, I think prospects are what is giving the most source of hope to people following the Astros.
Yeah, that's big. But yeah, good for him. Great to have him on. Cannot believe he drove from Asheville. I've made the drive to Nashville with an N from Houston, a similar drive. And let me tell you, there's about 10 hours once you get past like New Orleans where there is nothing from there up to the East Coast. So kudos to him for that.
I mean, I would
And
gently.
if you're still listening, Jason, or Jason's dad probably, Authentic New York Pizza. It's a great restaurant in Corpus Christi. Highly recommend that one. Still, some of my favorite pizza I've ever had is in Corpus Christi, Texas. So there you go.
All of the minor league, all the guys that were rehabbing in Corpus came back. Well, two of them
Oh,
came
yeah.
back. Two of them came back in wherever we just were, Minneapolis. And of course, you ask, like, did the Hooks eat well? And I forget who said it, but one of them goes, "Oh, we got him a sushi spread one night." And I was like, "You got sushi in Corpus Christi? What the hell is wrong with you?"
Come on. It's a bustling metropolitan city. How dare you?
I'm gonna avoid Corpus Christi sushi at all costs. But if you're a sushi place in Corpus and you want to advertise, call me. But yeah. Speaking of guys coming back from rehabs, Jeremy Pena's back. Jake Myers is back. Josh Hader threw last night. We're recording this Friday morning. He threw on Thursday in Corpus. He is eligible to come off the IL on Sunday. I know that's not going to happen because they had 5 more rehab outings scheduled for him. I believe he just made the second of those 5 rehab outings. He's got to go back to back. So it's not a situation where he's had a setback or anything, but just the calendar is not going to coincide with him being ready to come back the day he's eligible. So I would imagine you see him coming up in this Rangers series, the 4-gamer in Arlington that starts on Memorial Day. So you've got that. Taylor Trammell is rehabbing. He started a rehab assignment with the Hooks. So that'll help. But as it is, this undermanned, injury-ravaged Astros team will enter. They play in about 2 hours. They play the Cubs 3-day games at Wrigley Field. A Cubs team that is not spiraling. A Cubs team that is struggling, that has not played well in the last 2 weeks.
Quit setting it up like every series we hear from Chandler. Oh, this team is garbage. The Astros should be. Give me some. I need to be scared going into this one.
I never said the Astros would do anything with this advantage, but
the Twins are terrible. They got nothing. The Reds aren't doing it. The Cardinals aren't trying. The Rockies aren't. I don't want to hear it. Okay, I want to hear.
The Rockies aren't trying.
Well, they tried against the Astros. Okay, and I didn't appreciate it. I was under the impression they were going to lay down, like Chandler said, and no. And day game at Wrigley is magic. I've been to one game at Wrigley, and it was a day game. And I'm not too proud to admit I was there with Alicia, drug her to a day Wrigley game, and I walked up the stairs and immediately tear in my eye. I don't know why, but that's just a magical place. So hopefully there's some people listening to us on the L train to Wrigley right now, making a trip up there to see the Astros.
Did y'all sit in the bleachers?
No, we sat. I got good seats. We were like a couple rows back, like maybe 20 or 30 rows back on the first base side, and it was wonderful. I got a Ben Zobrist jersey because my sister was a DBU at the time, and also Astros legend, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But I overestimated how much shape I would stay in. This was very early in the marriage. Can no longer wear that shirt. So if anybody needs a medium Ben Zobrist jersey, hit me up.
That's the best souvenir I've ever heard coming out of Wrigley Field. Ben Zobrist jersey. It's kind of like I kind of forgot that Alex Bregman was on the Cubs, but he is. He's not having a great year. He's got a league average 100 OPS plus. If you watched Alex Bregman for any of his 9 seasons in Houston, you are not surprised that the season has started and Alex
That's
Bregman
pretty good.
And Alex Bregman is scuffling. So, yeah, but the Cubs have been in the news recently for some interesting other things. Pete Crow Armstrong had a conversation with a with a very energetic fan this past week, and that did not do him any favors. They, like the Astros, have an entire pitching staff on the IL. They have been just decimated by injuries. They've had Cade Horton, their rookie sensation, needed arm surgery earlier this year. They've had basically their whole bullpen's kind of cycled in and off of the injured list. So if misery loves company, these two teams cannot stay healthy on the mound. The Cubs, however, their healthy guys have pitched and performed far better than the Astros' healthy guys. But these are two teams that can't stay healthy on the mound, which could mean some home runs.
Hey, you know how everyone's talked about how terrible Pete Crow Armstrong has been so far this year? Would you like to know a fun fact about his 2.1 B WAR?
Is that as much
That
as
is
like
higher? That is higher than any player on the Houston Astros or any hitter on the.
I was gonna say that may, well, I don't know. Jordan's been pretty good. I was about to say that may equal like the entire position player group.
Yeah, the entire position player group has amounted 7.1 WAR. Jordan's at 1.8. Pete Crow Armstrong, apparently terrible, 2.1.
I never said he's been. Said he's been bad. Never said he's been bad.
I didn't say you did. I just mean from being on the internet. That's what I've been led to believe. And he's still been very, very good. So there you go.
Well, PCA, Jordan, both of them should it's day games at Wrigley. You never know how the wind's going to be blowing. You have to factor in the wind. But if the wind's blowing out at Wrigley during a day game, home runs will be for the taking, and we'll see if any of Pete Crow Armstrong, Jordan Alvarez, any of them may hit a home run, because that'll help on FanDuel with the Daily Dingers promotion. That's right. Daily Dingers on FanDuel, as we've talked about, a great sponsor of Crush City Territory. You can make a free pick on who's going to hit a home run. And if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for extra winnings. It's another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. And the Astros are not hitting home runs right now. That's probably been one of many issues plaguing this team right now. They have scored, as we talked about, they've scored 3 or fewer runs in 15 of their past 19 games. Only the Angels are averaging fewer runs per game than the Astros. So picking one guy to hit a homer in this underperforming lineup is tough, but you know what? They have Jordan Alvarez. They have Isaac Paredes, who hit a homer in Minnesota in the game that they won, that middle game, a 2-1 win. He pulled a homer into the left field seats. But Tyler, We've talked about it. We talked about it on the last, but they have got to get Jordan Alvarez going. They've got to get Christian Walker going. Jeremy Pena, you want to give him some grace because he just missed a month, but the urgency's up that he's got to get going too. Any of these three guys popping a couple homers at Wrigley Field this weekend would do the Astros a lot of good. I'm
taking Zach Cole. And the reason for that, Jameson Taillon is pitching. Do we have lineups yet? Is Zach Cole in the lineup today?
We do have lineups. I got it texted to me. Let me hold on. Yes, Zach Cole is hitting 8th, and he is playing left field. Zach DeCenzo is not in the lineup. Zach Cole.
Jameson Taillon has one of the worst fastballs in baseball. His breaking ball is very good, but has been and he throws at 91 miles an hour. Zach Cole is going to hit one of those a mile today. So I'm calling that one.
You're with Zach Cole. I'm gonna say Jeremy Pena. Going to Chicago. His fiance is a soccer star in Chicago. I'm sure he wants to put on for the name in Chicago with Julia there. So I'm gonna go with Jeremy Pena as a guy to look to on Daily Dingers. So if you're ready to play, you can head over to fanduel.com/podcast to get started. That's fanduel.com/podcast to opt in for Daily Dingers and to make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball.
No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, they need to hit home runs. It's a pretty basic way to put it, but they've got to slug. If they have any hope of getting this thing going, of being as top heavy as they are, they need any of those 4 or 5 guys at the top of the order to slug. And I'm not talking about just homers. Like, they need a ball in the gap. They need to not play station to station baseball and be relying on bunting a guy over, giving away an out. They've got to slug, and they have not been able to do that really all of May, but really since Carlos Correa went out. This team has struggled. This team has struggled to slug. They've struggled to score runs. It's coinciding with the pitching being better. That's got to be a frustrating thing for a lot of people, but who knows? Maybe going to Wrigley will help. But this team in May, they've played 19 games in May, and they have a .345 team slugging percentage. That's not going to get it done.
I think I've shared with you the site. It's called that'sball.baby. And someone has created a site that's like all the hottest and coldest from your team, but you can also see all the other teams. So I've bookmarked the Astros one. on the hot and cold section for the last 7 days. It has the hottest hitters. The top hottest hitter of the Astros in the last 7 days is Isak Paredes. They sort by WOBA, but so he has a 310 WOBA and a 158 batting average, and that is the hottest hitter on the Astros for the last week.
I mean, I think what speaks more volumes that Yordan Alvarez has a 694 OPS in May, and it's the highest of any qualified Astros hitter.
Yeah, he's 5th on the list of hottest, and he's hitting 150.
It's not what you want. It's not good, but who knows? Maybe it could turn around this weekend in Chicago against a team that is just as desperate and just as reeling as the Astros. We will watch it and see if the Astros can snap out of their funk. Again, we want to thank Jason Schiavone for joining us for the first 20 minutes of this. I thought it was great. I thought it was good to talk to the minor league home run king. We hope to get more insights from down on the farm, down from some prospects as the season goes on. We will do that on Crush City Territory. You can follow me on X at Chandler_Rome. You can follow Tyler at Tyler C. Stafford. Please rate and review us on Apple and Spotify. Please like the YouTube video and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get notified anytime we post a new podcast or have another special guest like we had with Jason today. We will be back Sunday night to discuss these 3-day games at Wrigley Field and where the Astros go from there. But until then, we will talk to you soon. Thank you for listening.
Jason, send us a picture of you at the double-decker Whataburger when you make it. Bye.